So at this time, my grandma passed away about 2 weeks ago. And I had started to have these weird dreams. And I'm not really used to having weird dreams. It's not something that's common for me. Sometimes I would, more than likely, I wouldn't dream at all. And when I did have dreams, it was just random stuff that wouldn't really make sense. And that was the norm for me. So I started having these weird dreams. My grandmother had passed away. I didn't really think it was relevant. I had never done research on stuff like that before. So, I'm not really familiar with spiritual stuff and what happens after death and incidences that people have with late family members. Now I've done the research now, so I understand. But just to continue the story, that's where I was at this time. And so I started having these weird dreams. And this one dream I had, I woke up in my dream. Okay, first of all, it's really weird. Woke up in your dreams, kind of like an Inception thing, right? You wake up and then you're a dream inside of a dream. I don't know. So I woke up and I just had this kind of urge, like something was kind of you're calling me in a way, not with the noise, or I just had a feeling I had to go into the living room. And so I got up and I walked over, down the hall, and then went into the living room. And my grandma, she used to always sit in this chair. That was her chair, it was a little rocking chair. She would sit there, she would just have her little blanket on or whatever, watching TV, whatever she was doing. And she would sit there. And so in my dream, I walk in to the living room, and I go see, I look up to see where the chair is at. And when I look, there's a black shadowy figure, and it gives me a really, really bad feeling in my stomach. And I'm just scared. I'm oh, what is that? And my heart starts pounding, right? I'm kind of oh man, I don't even want to be here. What is this? And I couldn't make anything out. It wasn't hair, maybe it was my grandma, right? No hair, no bone structure. It was just a black smudgy blob thing. It wasn't even a clear silhouette where oh, someone's sitting there. It was just a black blur. And I was kind of freaking out. And I don't know, as soon as I saw that, I got really scared, and I kind of just woke up. And the next day I told my mom about it. I'm hey, I had this weird dream, grandma's old chair. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And she just kind of brushed it off, right? Oh, it's okay, mijo, don't worry about it. We all have weird dreams. I'm sure you're upset, your grandma passing away, and, try not to think about it, and, go about your day. Okay, fine. All right, mom. So after about 3-4 days, we start smelling stuff, we all started smelling stuff inside the house, and we couldn't tell what it was. And we had, rats before in the attic or whatever, right? And it has that weird, nasty smell where it's okay, it's a dead rat. And it smelled kind of like that, but it was worse. It smelled like just really, really bad rotten eggs. And it was bizarre because we started calling people out to clean the air ducts, and they were good. There was nothing in. They actually cleaned them out, and the smell was still there. And we went on and on like this, and doing different things, washing the carpets and all whatever else. And then eventually I told my mom, hey, why don't we pull up the carpet in the living room? Because that was the one room we didn't really do. And so I'm can we just pull up the carpet right here? Because I don't know, in my mind, I was kind of I wanted to see, underneath that chair. Just maybe there was something there. I don't know. I just had a weird feeling right comes that dream. And we ended up pulling up the carpet, and there was a pool of maggots underneath the carpet right where the chair was at. And I was kind of freaked out. I'm what the heck is this? What's going on? And so we eventually put masks on and gloves and all that stuff, right? And we ended up cleaning out all those maggots and getting everything out from there. But there was no carcass left behind. There wasn't a body they were feeding on. It wasn't there were termites and they were chewing on stuff and there was stuff left behind. None of that. And we cleaned everything out. We got the carpet redone and, threw new carpet in there and whatever else. There was nothing there. Until this day, I have no idea what that was. If you guys think you know what it was, or maybe you can give me some insight on what it could have been, I don't know. What do you guys think?